There was a report that should have made far bigger headlines today, but for some reason it didn't. Maybe it wasn't sexy enough, maybe it wasn't enough of a scandal, maybe it didn't have a political element that people could easily understand. It certainly didn't have a celebrity element, and it probably doesn't involve any sports people. But it does involve the future of our country, an indication of exactly how well things are not doing for many, in fact thousands of Australian families. A COAG report has been released this week which looks into all sorts of things, but there's one particular finding that I find frankly scary. The COAG report has concluded that back in 2008, 24% of all people between the ages of 18 to 24 were not either in school or university or TAFE or even looking for a job. They were effectively sitting things out on the sidelines. Well, what's happened in the past 4 years? That number has now gone to 28%. Nearly 30% of all people who should be looking forward to the rest of their lives have effectively given up. No job, no education, no prospect of education or even prospect for work. I spoke to the renowned Father Chris Riley from the Youth Off the Streets program. He's been operating in many downtrodden areas of Sydney for a long time today, and he believes that this is a huge statistic. He believes that this is a true indicator of where things might be heading. The idea that close to 30% of all people between those ages of 18 to 24 have effectively given up on life. It says a lot about the failures not just of the safety net but also potentially of the family, but definitely for these kids directly. Now, I don't know why anyone would want to give up on life when you are as young as 18 or all the way through to the ripe old age of 24. I know that as you sit down after a hard day's work, probably taking care of maybe your kids who might be anywhere between 18 to 24, you find those statistics just unbelievable. I do too. I don't understand when you're at the start of your life why you wouldn't want to be doing anything you possibly can to invest in the rest of your life. You mightn't be able to have a dream job, but certainly you would try to go and do a course, wouldn't you? You'd at least try to put your hand up to try and do some sort of further education. Well, it's something that well and truly is not happening for way too many young people in this country. And we have to be careful, because as we constantly read, there is going to be, in fact there probably already is, an underclass that is growing in Australia. I find this a shocking statistic. I believe this was really big news, but it's not as interesting as all of the normal bells and whistles that get covered. What exactly is the solution? I don't know. I trust people like Father Riley who believe that all we need to do is reach out to tell young people that there is a country who cares. But we've also got to make sure that from even before the age of 18, people understand that this is how it works. You get raised in a home. Sometimes it might be a crappy home. Sometimes it might be a poor home. But there are plenty of people who overcome those circumstances. They don't use them as the excuse for the rest of their life. There are people who get mixed in with a bad crowd. But if somebody offers you that helping hand, you've got to take it and you've got to change course. 28% of people between the ages of 18 to 24 are doing nothing. That's a real story, right?